Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new BBC Micro Let's Play. Let's see if I can find the game what I want to play. Shouldn't take long. There it is. Acornsoft presents arcade action, but most importantly, Acornsoft presents Acornsoft Snake. Instructions. Guide the snake towards the food, which it gobbles up on contact. Points are scored and the snake grows longer as it eats, but you must prevent the snake from bumping into itself or the walls. You have 3 lives, and can earn an extra life by scoring 400 points. The food varies in value between 2 and 12 points in proportion to its size. If left uneaten, the food will decrease in value until it disappears. In this case, you score nothing and the snake will grow by 1 unit. Snake. Guide the snake onto the food, but don't run into yourself or the boundary. Left is Z, right is X, down is backslash, and up is colon. And you restart by pressing the space bar. You can choose between a fast game and a slow game. So this is Snake by Acornsoft. It was released in 1982, and it is part of Acornsoft's arcade action series with 3 other games. It is based on the 1976 arcade game Blockade by Gremlin, which is considered the first Snake game. Though they didn't really call it Snake yet. That wouldn't be until well into the 90s when that happened. When they actually started calling it a Snake game. It was more like a moving wall game or a blockade game or a centipede game or something, but they didn't really use Snake until much later as far as I can tell. So you get to choose between a fast and a slow game at the start, and if you want to switch speeds, you have to press break, load the game back up, and then go through all of the instructions again and get to this screen to pick the other game mode that you want to use. I was going to say fast because, well, that's what I'm going to switch to. I want to play the slow game first. But, yeah, that's how you switch modes in this game. So, let's start with the slow game. And I've actually had to reconfigure the controls so that way they would work in BBM. Thankfully, I did that before the recording of this video, so I didn't have to do it during. So this is the playfield that you play on. Your score, your highest score, and the number of lives you have is up at the top. And below that, in the blue area, is where all the gameplay takes place. So we're eating food. The bigger it is, the more points we will get. And we grow when we eat food, whether we gain points from it or not. And you want to be very careful as you progress through the game, because you get pretty big pretty quickly as the game progresses. And it gets easier and easier for you, the player, to run into yourself as you play. So you want to be very, very careful as you do virtually anything. Now, if you do run into yourself, you will keep the size that you are at, but it will take you a while before you get to see your snake's entire body once again. And until that point, you really have to go out of your way not to run into yourself, which can be very bad if it were to happen. And I was really wondering if I would be able to grab that. Thankfully, I was able to grab that. Doing pretty well so far for not losing one of my lives yet. That I will have to probably wait to get. Or not. I actually got my hands on that. I am amazed. And I went in a direction that I did not want to go, but I was able to correct myself. And that's what happens when a piece of food disappears. It disappears, it teleports, you have to get to where the new piece went. I don't know how I managed to pull that off, I just know that I did. Lost a little bit of points that I could have gotten, but oh well. And I believe it will take 400 points to get an extra life. And if I'm able to do that, I'll have 4 snakes to work with instead of 3. I don't know how I managed to get that, but I did. If I somehow survive getting that. Okay, good. I'm actually proud of myself. I'm about to say, I will be proud of myself if I manage to get through that. And thankfully, I managed to get through that. And I am doing really well for myself so far. This won't last, though. This really won't last. I know that I'm gonna foul it up sometime. In the meantime, though, I'm just trying to just take everything in and make sure that I don't really mess anything up. Because I'm doing really well right now. Never did this well on Never did this well on Try It Out Tuesday. And I am lining up with these things like no tomorrow. I am not going to reach that. There is no way. I'm not going to reach that either. Unless I do something. And that's the something I was able to do. Now, thankfully, I won't run into myself. Not here. I don't know how I managed to pull that off. And I kind of had to do a little bit of maneuvering just to make that happen. Oh, I still got that. That was interesting. Oh, wow. That was luck more than anything else. I didn't think the piece that I would get after that would be right there. And I am just adept with the keys at this point. I am just really taking care of myself here. I'm not going to be able to get that, though. That's not happening. As much as I would like it to. And I was either going to turn right, not right, but left. Or I was going to run into the wall, and I ran into the wall there. Not exactly proud of that. And there's no way I'm going to be able to get my hands on that. So all I can do now is just circle around until I have enough room. This is all I can do. Because I am too darn big. I have the feeling I'm going to lose my lives pretty quickly. Unless something happens. I don't know what that something is going to be. But I have one of two probabilities. Probabilities. I should say possibilities. That's really what they are. And I have to say, I don't think I'm going to reach that. Yeah, I'm not going to reach that either. And there's the next piece of food I can get. But now I have to follow myself just to get to it. Well, at least I managed to get that. But now I can't get that food. I am putting myself in quite the pickle. And I'm not going to be able to grab that either. So we are having quite the dilemma. As opposed to not having one. And now I have no idea what I'm going to be able to do now. And I can't get my hands on that. Well, at least I was able to grab that. But now these pieces of food are getting harder and harder to get our hands on. And apparently I can get to that after all. Who would have thought? But at least I can get this one. But we are running out of room really quickly. I'm now convinced that I'm not supposed to make it past. Well, it's not that I'm not expected to make it past a certain point, or I'm not allowed to make it past a certain point. It's not that I'm not allowed to make it past a certain point. It's just that I'm not expected to make it to a certain point. Trying to get the words out and I can't. And this is really getting somewhere. really, really getting somewhere. And somehow, I was able to eat that. But man. This is getting more treacherous to do. And I'm starting to become more and more... I tried to move left there and I couldn't do it. Well, at least I can get more points this way. But this is definitely going to... I'm definitely going to pay for it later. The way that I'm doing things. Did very well. Only had the occasional slip up. And now the size of my snake's body has made this super difficult. And I'm not quite sure how to feel about this. Well, at least I managed to get in there. But how in the world am I going to get out? I'm too big now. This is... Well, I'm about to say this isn't going to work, but now it's working. Until it suddenly didn't. I am too big now. I am just too big now. And there's no way I'm going to get that. Unless... I turned too soon. Well, we got this working for us now. So that's nice. But now, it's going to be a matter of time until we lose this last life that we have. And I have been playing this a lot longer than I expected. Much longer. I was trying to... And I was trying to, just keep my body close to itself, so that way there would be less room for me to be taking as I try to get more points. Still, 664, that's not too bad. Also, you only seem to get one extra life period, and that's if you earn it. Still, that's not bad. That's really not bad at all. So, now that we've played the slow game, let's go ahead and play the fast game. I just need to reload. We just need to go through the instructions again. Pick the fast game. And this is gonna be... That's how fast it is. Be ready to move. Your reaction time... You're gonna need a good reaction time to get through the fast game. I mean, it's a lot faster, but you need to be a lot faster. And the food disappears faster too, so you really can't afford to dawdle. And yeah, that's how quickly one life in this game can end. Oh dear, I'm not going to be able to get that. I can get that though. As long as I'm close to the food, I can still get it. I'm glad that the game works in that way. Otherwise, I'd be having a very hard time. And even then, that's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I'm able to get the food just by being near it, and sometimes I'm not. And I tried to turn, and the game just wouldn't let me do it. Okay. Yeah, the fast game can end pretty quickly. And if you press spacebar to restart, you'll just start a new game at the same speed. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that there is for Snake from Acornsoft's arcade action series from 1982 for the BBC Micro. What you see here is what you get. Graphics are really simple, but you can easily tell what's going on. The controls are pretty tight and responsive. You have sounds for when you eat the food, crash. You have the little musical interludes for the beginning of the game as well as the end of one. And of course, you'll either play this for a few minutes or you play this for a few more minutes. Much like all these arcade style games that I've been playing for the BBC Micro. Fun little game this. Not much to it. Really easy to get into. Really easy and quick to pick up and play. Definitely one to play. I mean, it's simple. There's not much to it. There are better Snake games, I'm sure. But I didn't have any error. I didn't run into any errors. The controls work well. And it does a good job at what it's supposed to do. So I can't really complain much. So this has been Let's Play Snake by Acornsoft for the BBC Micro. Hopefully you've enjoyed this as much as I did, maybe just a little bit longer. And hopefully I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between, who knows. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later. Special thanks to High Retro Game Lord 89, without whom this Let's Play would not have been possible.